have that instinct automatically? Because remember, some of this stuff is genetic. They either have it or they don't, right? This is what it's all about, people. Attack the boy! He must know that I'm in the dog fight with him. I'm next to him side by side. We have a bond that's unbreakable. Check 1 2. Mic check. What the hell is going on with the mic? Mic check. Mic check. Hold on. Can you hear through your headset? I can hear you.
Okay.
Mic check. Mic check, people. Mic check, mic check. Stay tuned, people. Let me see what's going on.
You know what? I'm going to, hang on.
Let me see what it sounds like.
Okay, I'm going to take this hat off because it's starting to sweat too much.
Mic check. Mic check, 1 2. Mic check. Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me, I'm going
All right,
to.
just hold it right here.
All right. Now I'm going to sweat too much. So I'm going to tie this bandana on. Give me a couple minutes. We're not on right yet.
Mic check, mic check. Shit. Fuck. Mic check. Mic check, mic check. Here we go. Yeah. Say something, laddie. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Mic check, mic check. Go ahead.
Hello?
You hear it? Hear yourself?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear myself in here.
Good, good, good. Woo! Hey, people. Ooh, that's loud as a motherfucker. Mic check, mic check.
People watching us now?
Yeah. Mic check, 1 2. Mic check, mic check. Okay. Woo! Lord have mercy. It's hard being who we are. Thank you for, oh shit, it's loud as a motherfucker. Mic check, mic check, mic check, 1 2, 1 2. Mic check, yeah. All right, people, we are here. Woo! Jesus. Mic check, 1 2. Mic check. Mic check, mic check. Here we go. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. There you go. We good. We are good. Woo! Mic check, 1 2. There you go. All right. About time, man. Oh, damn. Let me get. So, I like to say, first of all, God damn, this shit is loud as a motherfucker. Mic check, 1 2. There we go. I like to say thanks for coming to the show. This is Latimer Cooper, aka Laddie Earl, aka Laddie, from King of the White Dobermans. I want to say thanks for coming in. I met him during dog training for dogs that we had in common, which is Dobermans, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Laddie,
I'll
say thanks for coming in, Laddie. Woo!
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Laddie, you know, we got a lot of questions to ask for people here. Me in general, I had to do a little research before I brought you in. And first of all, I want to say, man, thanks for taking time out to beat that traffic, fuck with that LA traffic, to come here in the heat of LA traffic. Not before, not after, during LA traffic, to sit down and talk with us about dogs, one of our passions, the one creature that we know for a fact that is loyal to us, that is more loyal to us than humans could ever be. Am I right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I tell people all the time, I say, you know what? Dogs do one of many things that humans can't possibly do. You know, you could be gone 2 weeks, 2 hours, 2 years, 2 months, and they're still going to act like you just left 10 minutes ago. When they don't run to that door, you know something is physically wrong with them because they're consistent with their habits. So I want to say thank you for coming here. Thank you for coming here, Laddie. This is our first time actually doing a live podcast. I didn't want to do one remote. I said, bring your ass up in here. We'll do it in person. And we got the setup for it, right? So why not? So, Laddie, thanks for coming in. And I want to get to the nitty gritty. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, the Doberman Gang. Yeah.
That's your favorite movie?
Absolutely.
I thought that was a series.
No, that was 3 movies, the Doberman Gang, the Daring Dobermans, and Those Amazing Dobermans. I saw that movie when my family had Doberman pinchers. Before that, I got my first Doberman. My family got our first Doberman pinscher in 1966. Her name was Gypsy. I was 5 years old. And I remember taking her up to Labante's office, even back then, back in the 60s. And
rest in peace, Labonte.
We had Dobermans ever since. And I still watch it from time to time. I have all 3 on the, on DVD. And there's always rumblings.
DVD or VHS?
DVD, yeah.
Okay.
And there's always rumblings about a remake. And there's what's the guy's name? Who was a friend of OJ's who trained those dogs. What's his name? Al? I can't think of his name right now, but I actually met the guy who actually trained those dogs in that movie. So that was quite an honor, And anyway, back to what you were saying about how the dogs just revel in delight when you enter the door. And I heard one wise man say that, in dog years, it's 1 out of 7 years. So 1 day for a dog is like an equivalent to a week to us.
Right.
So they learned that dogs live really in the moment.
Right.
Because of that. If you think about that, for every 1 day, every 1 week, the dog just gets 1 day. So they live the best that they can. They enjoy every minute of it.
That's interesting to me because the one thing we know when we get dogs, not like cats, is that we know we get an animal that's going to live a very short period of time.
Yeah.
They're not going to live a lifetime.
Yeah.
They're not going to outlive us most of the time. They don't.
Yeah.
And every dog we've had, they've left a special place in our hearts, like
an indelible mark.
Right. Like Alonzo, he left even though when I first introduced him to the Brothers in the Hood, they thought they could run him away.
Yeah.
And he fooled their ass.
He had nerves of steel. I've never seen anything like him.
Right.
And he still is my favorite of your dogs.
Yeah.
You had some amazing dogs over the years, but he was just so rock solid. Nothing fazed him at all. And a nuclear bomb couldn't go off.
He took pressure really good.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. That was a magnificent animal. Yeah. A real magnificent animal, Alonzo was. Rest in peace, Alonzo.
Yeah. And rest in peace to Flash, too. Yeah, he was the first working white Dobie I saw.
Yeah,
I was like,
I missed that
this
dog.
motherfucker is working.
Yeah, I missed that dog. And I feel real bad because when he got cancer and in my rush to save his life, I had the tumor removed. And once the tumor was removed, he never ate again.
Yeah.
And before dogs don't know they have cancer.
Right.
So he's running and jumping and playing and just having fun. I knew he had cancer. So I rushed to try to fix it. And then he never ate. And then he ended up shriveling up a couple of weeks later. I whenever I think about that, it makes me sad.
Yeah. You got a good 9 years out of Flash, didn't you?
He 2 weeks from his 9th birthday, actually.
Yeah. And that's almost the cutoff. Like that's the max. It's like Alonzo was like almost 10.
Yeah.
When he passed away from it was some kind of cancer. It was not prostate cancer, but cancer of the kidneys or something.
Yeah.
And we had to put him on a low some kind of special diet, and it was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
And of course, Brody passed away from hemorrhaging of the prostates, and You know, just freak shit, man. It's like when
Yeah.
they get ill, everything is sensitive.
Yeah, and when it comes to these are human diseases in man's quest to create these perfect animals. These dogs have taken on our diseases. Wolves don't get cancer.
Right.
Wolves don't get epilepsy. Wolves don't get hip dysplasia. These are humans making these perfect animals for form and function, and we like the form and function
Yeah.
of the Doberman Pinscher,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, they've they've taken on our illnesses, which is very sad and heartbreaking and expensive.
Let's go back from the beginning. What was the first dog you ever owned?
That would be Gypsy, our very first Doberman. I have a picture of her.
Not the Gypsy I know, but the Gypsy that's before that.
Yeah. My family got that dog in 1966.
That was a Doberman.
That was a Doberman, yeah.
Black and tan, red
black
and tan.
Black and tan.
Black and tan.
She was a good dog.
You know, I think back then the American dogs were a lot harder.
She was big too.
But they had a lot more courage.
Yeah. They watered them down after the Doberman gang. They got, you know, then there were so many crazy rumors about the Doberman. You got to put gunpowder in the food and you got to beat the dog and this and that. And they had a rumor. There was all these rumors of them turning on their master. Well, some dogs are going to cower away if you mistreat them, and other dogs will say, I've had it with that bullshit and I'm not going to take it anymore, and they'll jump right back on you. And that's what Dobermans were doing. People were mistreating them, and they were just, you know, that's what it,
and they understood, like, you're fucking with me, okay,
exactly. I'm sick of this shit.
It's a fight or flight situation.
Right. I'm sick of this shit, and now I'm about to fuck you up, and now the whole breed gets a bad reputation. So and that's how they watered them down, which actually that watering down process in the 70s and 80s, that's what actually opened the floodgates for what now the European working Doberman. That's where they had to define the distinction for which dogs are capable of taking on a threat.
Right.
You know, and, you know, as I always say, a well-trained canine is not a vicious animal. A pit bull, a Rottweiler, a German Shepherd, a Doberman Pinscher should not be a vicious animal, but they should be a courageous animal if faced with a threat. But that's how they started going back over to Europe and picking out these particular ones that had the courage, and those were the ones that were allowed to breed, you know. And then as a result of that watering down, now they've got some really, really nice Dobermans out there now.
Yeah, you know, my first Doberman was a dog that I got from Bickerstaff named Roos.
I remember that dog.
And I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. First of all, when I picked the dog out, I picked him out at 3 weeks, which is a no-no.
Right.
And then I come back 3 more weeks later, he wouldn't let me go back there to pick the pup out. He brought the pup to the front door and said, here you go. How do I know that's the right dog?
Yeah.
Right? That's game as a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
And you learn when you deal with different breeders, the ethics of breeding. When all it takes is one time to get fucked, then you know what you're not supposed to be doing.
Absolutely,
no more.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to get to the crux of our conversation, the off whites, because they got two different whites. They got off whites and really white.
Yeah,
Dobermans.
Right. Yeah.
They got fawns, Isabellas. What's the other color?
And blues.
Blues.
Yes.
And then we got
they have a
Merle?
lilac. They have lilac now, and then they have the melanistic, which is an all black dog with no other markings.
They got the reds.
They have the red melanistic.
They have the blacks.
Right. Yeah.
So they got about 7, 8 different. Oh yeah, and the all blacks.
No, that's the melanistic.
Melanistic.
That's the melanistic.
Okay, that's another term for it.
Right.
That's the all black.
Yeah.
So, but what caused those different colors?
Well, that's it. There's a Z factor gene that creates those different colors, and in these Doberman Pinschers, and when I fell in love with these Z factor Dobermans, basically is when I found out how much that the dog snobs and that the Doberman purists disliked them. Right. And especially the white or the albino Doberman, because there was so much bad press about them being untrainable and unpredictable, and they love to kill children. So I kind of wanted to prove them wrong. You know, they do have sensitive skin, and they do they can't filter
alopecia.
The blues are prone to alopecia.
And what does that mean for us layman terms?
It's where the hair falls out when you lose hair, but it can be treated. with Ivomex. We got tricks. We know I've been in the game a long time, so I actually know a guy. If your blue Doberman has alopecia, I actually know a guy who can fix it. You know,
I know when dogs, and this is old school. You tell me if I'm wrong. I know when dogs have mites or manes, we use burnt motor oil.
Yeah,
that shit works.
It did work. It
that
did.
works,
Yeah.
people.
Our grandparents.
It ain't clean,
right?
but it works.
Yeah,
because
it absolutely works. I used it.
Especially with Alonzo, he used to bite his paws a lot. He used to tear up his legs sometimes. And what I would do, put that burnt motor oil on there. He ain't fucking with that.
Yeah.
It was like, I ain't eating this shit.
You're not eating it.
Right. And then it would stop.
It has the sulfur in
yes.
It had sulfur in it. And that's what would kill the mite and allow the hair to grow back. But yeah, some of those old school tricks still absolutely apply.
I want to give a shout out before we start. We want to talk about blessings of animals.
The blessing of the pets at St. Paul's Church tomorrow, Saturday morning between 12 and noon. It's on 9th Avenue in Adams. If you have kid-friendly and socialized dogs, you can go by and you can get your pet blessed. It's a small crowd. Downtown, it's crazy. People bring their camels and their snakes.
Camels?
You go downtown for the blessing of the pets.
So it's called
the blessing of the pets. It's
called Blessing of the Pets, people. And it's this Saturday from 9 to 12. And it's at St. Paul Lutheran Church. The address is 3901 West Adams Boulevard, LA, California. You can also call them at 323-731-8384. And donations are accepted. And it is a 501. So you can get a tax write-off, you motherfuckers out there. And we have a lot of things to talk about because Laddie is one of the guys. You're the second person I brought in here to do a live podcast. But you're the only one that I brought in here that deal with the other colored Dobermans. So what made you get into the off regular colors, like instead of black or red, we call it reds, but it's really brown.
Right.
What made you get away from that and want to be different?
Well, yeah, that's just it. And like I said, the way that the doggy purists, or what we call the dog Nazis, with the albino or white Dobermans, the white haters, to kind of prove people wrong. And now these, as the world is becoming a lot more tolerant, these colors are becoming more acceptable, and these dogs are just as good as the other Dobermans. And like I said, I know a lady. Her name is Melissa Amber in Elkland, Virginia, and her kennel is By My Side Kennels, and she is really, really good at the genetic coding. And she takes these European working bloodlines, mixes them with some of these Z-Factor dogs, and she's able to kick out some really, really solid Z-Factor different colored Dobermans. So that's Melissa Amber at By My Side Kennels in Virginia. Check her out. I've gotten 2 dogs from her, and I've always been very pleased with her. Thank you, Melissa.
So I want to get into this. So I noticed when we first met was it 2011? Because I think so, because you had Flash then.
Nah, I think we met before that.
2010 then, because I was in OJ's class.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah, we was in that.
I signed up with OJ in 2007.
Yeah.
And then you came around.
2010.
I think it was 10. Bit before. Okay, all right.
It was 10. And how we met is that we was doing OJ trained on Stocker and La Brea in this field. This is before the field got rebuilt, and they putting benches in there to keep us from the park, but that still didn't stop. Remember Bernard Parks used to be hiding behind the bushes and shit.
Pictures of us and stuff.
Isn't that crazy as shit?
Yeah.
Anyway, I met him in Otis James Knighton. They call him OJ.
The canine coach.
The canine coach.
An amazing trainer. He's not feeling well. Our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family.
So if you Google OJ, the canine coach, send your thoughts and prayers to him. At some point we all go see our makers, and right now OJ is he's battling with some health issues. Hope he gets better. A miracle will happen. But for the meantime, OJ, he's the guy, man. He's the guy. And one thing about OJ that's unlike other trainers, he knows how to communicate with his clients.
Yeah. I don't think any other trainer in LA has built more trainers than OJ. you know,
And
and amazing to learn from.
And if you want to see some of OJ's work, go to the Transformer movie, the first one.
Oh yeah,
with Shia LaBeouf,
Shia
LaBeouf,
yeah.
that Rottweiler. OJ the one to train that dog and put that
yeah.
dog in there, and that dog called Max.
Max, the movie Max.
OJ,
1 and 2, that's OJ.
That's OJ, and he also did some
Sons of Anarchy.
Son of Anarchy. And how about LACSI?
LACSI, yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
the pit bulls, all type of dogs. In
OJ, he's got connections.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You know. Let's talk about what was your because you had a Rottweiler too, but let's get back to the Dobies. What made you go with because there's two different, first of all, people, there's 7 or 8 colors of Rottweiler, of Dobies.
Dobermans, yeah.
You got white, you got off-white, you got fawns, Isabellas, blues,
yes.
What's the other one? Blacks, reds. What is the other
fawns.
one? What's that spot color now? The new one. It's called.
They call that a Merle.
Merle Dobermans. I ain't seen that many of them, but
yeah, I've seen pictures.
Yeah, I've seen and all black.
Yeah, the melanistic black has no markings, and the melanistic red that has no markings.
I haven't seen one of those, but I'm sure they're out there.
I haven't seen any in person, but I've seen them in pictures. So,
what made you get into the traditional Doberman?
Well, the white ones were so exotic looking, and as I started working at a kennel called Camp Happy Dog, in the Valley in Sherman Oaks in 2003, and then I was like, wow, I'm pretty good at this, and that's when I wanted to learn to become a better trainer. So that's when I signed up with OJ Knighton in like 2006 or 7. But the attention, I couldn't take 10 steps anywhere with my white Doberman without people wanting to take pictures with them. And I was like, wow, they really are good for business.
I remember you used to have Flash doing like shit like this.
Oh yeah, sit up and beg and crawl, and he was a good swimmer. And all my dogs have to be able to jump. You know, that's a must. They have to be able to jump. You know, so
you had them. You taught them how to beg too.
Yeah, taught them how to beg, how to crawl, how to roll over, swim, jump, lots of good stuff. You know, Dobermans are very smart. They're very, very smart. You know, so and it's just all how you raise them. You know, if you don't let your puppy, you can teach them. You know, anything. You know, as long as you don't allow your puppy to see any fear, your puppy will grow up to be confident. And if you have a confident puppy, it's easier to teach your dog, you know, some fun stuff. And that's what I like to do when I do the CGC, which is the Canine Good Citizenship Certificate for the American Kennel Club. I'm an agent for them, but I like to, when I'm doing my obedience class, I like to have the dogs jump over the park bench and jump up on the table and let's do a little change position here or there. So I like to, when I do my obedience, I try to show people how to have a little fun in the park with their dog at the same time, instead of just that boring walk around you see people doing, just the humdrum walk. Have some fun. You know, it's an athletic dog. It needs exercise. You know, a sedentary life. If you have a sedentary kind of a slow motion life, you don't need a Doberman. You know, just walking, that dog needs to he needs to run full speed at least a couple of days a week, if not every day, if you can. Everybody has other responsibilities, but yeah, they love to run. And I like watching my dogs run. I really do. I get a real kick out of watching anybody's dog run. I really enjoy it a lot. I can just sit and watch dogs run, you know?
I love the fact that you get a kick out of dogs working out.
Yeah.
Like I remember we used to take, this is like 7-8 years ago. We used to go to the park in Culver City before all the homeless folks start fucking around.
Yeah.
And before the police start coming around, we used to run the shit out of these dogs.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You remember the time when Alonzo was a puppy?
Yeah.
And we went to a Kenneth Hahn. Was it Kenneth Hahn?
Yeah.
We went to a park where they had like a pond, like a man-made concrete pond.
Yeah.
It was hot as shit, people. When I tell you this, Alonzo as a puppy jumped in the pond to cool off.
Yeah, just stood there. Wouldn't come out.
Man, that's the intelligence these dogs have that shows you, like, you know what, they know what time of day it is. They know that they gotta cool off some kind of way. Because remember, people, dogs don't sweat.
Yeah.
They don't perspire. So right here, this is, which one is this? Is this Jones?
That's Jones. Yeah, doing a barking hold. Good
Who's that
boy,
taking
Jones.
taking a bite?
I think that's Lewis in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I do like. I remember when Alonzo was about 7 months old, I had Flash do a feet up, and you could see his back muscles. All right, and Alonzo looked pretty like a kind of like a Coke can in the middle, which to me there's
I didn't know no
worse.
different.
Right, exactly. To me, there's nothing worse than a working dog without a waistline. You know, the dog should
have had the last 2 ribs.
Yeah, the last 2 ribs. Yeah, should be showing. You know, and that means that dog is in good shape. It has big muscles coming off his hind legs. You know, so and I said to Gerald, I said, you need to run that dog. He's like, what do you mean? So then we went to the park, and Alonzo was 7 months old, but Flash was grown, so he would just chase,
trying to keep up
with Flash. And then then I started running him to keep him in shape as he was going for his Schutzen titles. And even Brody, as he got his Schutzen 1 and his Schutzen 2,
yes,
I would keep him and run the hell out of him like his daddy wanted, to keep him in shape so he could run those blinds and chase down the bad guys.
Right. And the thing is, people, the way Laddie does it is the way that I was trained. We were overtrained in practice. So when we do compete in a show, it's easy.
Yeah.
Dogs don't get winded.
Yeah.
It was like running 3 blinds. That ain't shit.
Yeah.
I'm used to running like this shit 20 times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So just like when I was in the police academy many years ago, that's when I had hair people. It's called pre-academy. Okay. That means that when the departments hire you, they're not hiring you when they have a class. The class may not be for 2 or 3 months. Right? Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, they hire you to get your human resource shit in, and your paperwork, your medical insurance, all that stuff. And in the meantime, we would run up and down hills, and they said, you're going to be more in shape now than you are in the academy. In the academy, they're only going to run like a mile, maybe. We was running pre-academy. We was running 3, 4, 5, 6 miles a day. So we actually got out of shape in the academy. So what I'm saying is, my dogs got in shape when we were training with Laddie. They got out of shape during the competition because the competition was like, it's like this is easy. This is weak.
Yeah.
Like, what we doing here? Yeah. I remember seeing the first time I saw this the Laddie's dog Flash working. We did a barking hold while Lewis stand, but his back was to a fucking tree, doing a barking hold while he's standing there with a tree. Instead of see people in the hood, we improvise.
Yeah,
if we don't have blinds, which Lewis didn't have blinds, I brought the blinds.
Right.
When Lewis didn't have, we used a tree as a motherfucking blind, didn't we?
Yeah. If we didn't have an ATM machine, we would use a tree.
Yes. Yeah. So,
as an ATM for the ATM scenario. Yeah.
Yeah. So
trees come in handy.
This is what you do, people, when you improvise. So I want to get into what we had talked about. Let me see. What was this? Right? What's this comment? Another one puts a penny in the food for. Let me see. Another one is to put a penny in the food for worms. Oh, let me see. Yes, it's work from. Okay. Oh, okay. Get him. Go get him. Audio sounds great. Thanks, Doug. So yeah, a lot of people leave comments at times when we're talking. We're going to read you guys' questions. Let me ask you a question.
What do they say? Put a penny in the food?
Let me see what he says about that.
That kills worms?
Let me see. Another one is to put a penny in food for worms. Oaktown, I want you to elaborate on that so we can see, so all of us can know what you mean by that. Let me see what it says. I can hear you. Good. All right. So what I want to do is we said we're going to talk about a few things and hit on some pointers. But one of the things I want to hit on is that why the rainbow colors of dogs, and what are the physical issue? Because I know I've heard they've had photosynthesis issues, they have skin issues. What have you experienced with your dogs in regards to these off-white colors? And I will say this, people, AKC does not allow them to be into AKC shows.
Right, but they can't deny their lineage.
They give you full AKC.
You get full AKC.
But they don't put you on the fucking stage.
You're not
Isn't that some shit?
So you say the hell with those snobs. But like I said, the blue Dobermans can be prone to alopecia, but the white ones specifically, they do have sensitive skin. So I find it good to treat it from the inside and out with fish oil and a lot of vitamin E. And then they can tend to be a little jumpy because they can't see when the sun is. If you're walking down the street and the sun is shining in their eyes, and then all of a sudden something appears, that can make them kind of jumpy. So what they need is a great deal of exposure. You need to try to figure out all the environmental issues that could affect the dog. The environmental issues, these are man-made things that frighten dogs. And those things can be more sensitive if your dog has poor eyesight. So I would take those dogs to the malls and sit on the bus stops. They hear the air brakes on the bus and sirens and jackhammers and shiny floors and elevators.
How about the Grove?
The Grove. That's a great place for socialization.
It don't get no better than that.
Right. It's a great place for socialization. So even after I would do bite work with my Dobermans, and then come home and let them take a nap, and I would take a nap, then I would get up and take my dogs to the Grove. And then people would see the white Doberman, the fawn Doberman, the blue Doberman, and everybody wants a photograph. And I have a word that one of my commands is visit, and that means friend. So if my dog says visit, that means you're our friend, and my dog will let you pet him, and you can actually walk him, and you can, and my dog, that means it's okay. I have another word, watch, which means my dog's going to bark at you. Then, of course, we all know everybody, we all around here have bite words for our dogs. But yeah, visit is a magic friendly word. So as I give people treats and I tell them to hold their hand out, I put my dog in a stay, and then I say visit. And little kids like to do it because it's good to socialize your dogs around little kids. So I think it's important to have a well socialized canine around, people, wheelchairs, crutches, taking to Venice Beach where there's drunk people screaming and carrying on and acting a fool. The dog should be solid under those conditions.
Because at the end of the day, they are liabilities.
Absolutely.
It's not a luxury it's a luxury to have one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that the most important thing of owning a dog is understanding that they're still animals.
Absolutely.
And anything can pop off.
Absolutely. That's one of the benefits of the CGC. So if your dog has his canine good citizenship certificate, and say you did still end up in animal court for something, it does show the judge that you took the time to train with the certified professional, because the judge in animal court knows that they are dogs, and the best trained dog on the planet Earth still makes mistakes. So they because the court's going to try to say you just left that Rottweiler or that pit bull chained up in the backyard and he got loose and did something.
Mm-hmm.
So, and dogs will get the bad rap. And speaking of that, when dogs get a bad rap, I'm a firm believer that animals are fair and only people are unfair. So even when you hear where a dog has done something terrible, that particular dog had its reasons, and its reasons were valid. Now, nobody wants to see children or innocent people get hurt, but that dog had its reasons. For instance, the gardener leaves the gate open and the golden retriever gets out. Well, say the golden retriever sees something that he doesn't trust. The golden retriever is going to run the other way. Say the gardener leaves the gate open and the Rottweiler or the Doberman or the German Shepherd or the Pit Bull sees something that he doesn't trust. A more confident dog like that is more likely to make that what he appears to be a threat go away. Right. So that it's a terrible thing, but that dog had its reasons, and that reason is valid. But the dog will end up paying the price for that,
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I've always heard this in the Bible. I don't know where the quote is. It says, "We are the keepers of the beast."
Absolutely.
So, we are responsible for all creatures, air, sea, and land.
Absolutely.
And it's up to us to be responsible. I would say, and I was telling Laddie before we went on live, I said, dogs in general, they do a few things that humans can't possibly do. Number one, we know that their scent is hundreds of times more sensitive than ours. But the one thing that, because before I got a dog, I used to wonder, like, why are people crying when they dog die? I said, just get a fucking another dog. Yeah. I didn't realize that until Alonzo died.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So one of the many important things that dogs do that humans can't possibly do, they stay consistent. And what I mean by that is that you can be gone 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 days, 2 years, and that dog gonna still act like you just left 2 minutes ago. Yeah. When he doesn't run to that door when he sees you, you already know something's physically is wrong with him. Yeah. Yeah. Because other than that, he will drag his ass to come see you.
Yeah, you will be concerned. Well, where's the dog? Well, something must be wrong with the dog.
Exactly.
He must not be feeling well.
Exactly.
That's an indication. That's an indication of something being wrong,
So my question is with you is all dogs are not created equal. You're going to have some great dogs. You're going to have some good dogs. You got some dogs that don't work. First of all, which one of your dogs, I already know the male, but which one of your female dogs was your best female dog and why and what color?
That was my dog Gypsy, and she was fine. She was Alonzo's daughter. Alonzo's daughter. Yeah. And she was very impressive. A great swimmer, a great jumper. She was a runt,
and she was smart a runt. Too.
She was really smart. Smartest dog I've ever had. I swear I could have taught that dog how to drive. But a good swimmer, and she was doing the bark and hold and the 2-man attack and the carjacking scenario all in like 18 months. I was very impressed with her. And she kicked out some great puppies.
I would say this, every dog owner, I'm a fucking said, every dog owner always says, oh, my dog is smart. Oh, he's smart. Oh, she's smart. But my question is, how smart is he? Right? So it's like, you're biased, but Alonzo was intellectually smart. Like when we were training at Wolfgang,
oh my God,
this motherfucker knew how he was doing the dumbbell, A-frame, hurdle, and coming right into the hill position in front of me in a matter of 2 weeks. Under pressure. Under pressure. God. So Gypsy inherited those intellectual brains of Alonzo.
From her father, absolutely.
Right.
And she was a fawn Doberman. And she was a fawn.
And I would say that of all the dogs, which one other than Gypsy males were your best male dog and why and what color?
Well, my black one, Barry Manilow, but he's Brody's son, so he's really, really tall, and he just has such an amazing entry.
But wasn't he such a small puppy? I was like, really, this gonna be a small ass dog.
He really turned out nice. He's tall, and he's got the traditional wedge-shaped head. It's not as boxy as these new. They're boxing out the head so that the dog with the German Shepherd and the Doberman, and they're genetically changing the skull to deliver a harder bite, which is that's a good thing.
The bigger the head, the harder the bite.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. The thicker the neck.
You haven't seen Titus in person, have you?
I don't think I've seen him in person.
What?
I've seen him in videos.
Oh no, he's 15. He was born in January, February, March, April. He's 15 months old. He's got a nice head.
He is, yeah.
He's got a nice head. And he bites hard too.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good. Really hard. But
Cisco
has a head like your boy, Barry.
Yeah, more of the traditional.
But Al says he's the hardest biting Doberman.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so that says a lot considering that he's fucked with Brody.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah. Yeah, the Doberman Pinscher and the German Shepherd traditionally had what's called a wedge-shaped skull. And now they're genetically changing that skull to more of a square kind of a box so that it can deliver. Because you want the dog to bite with his back teeth. One hard bite, make the bad guy give up. So that squaring out that big skull makes for a better, bigger, harder bite. Yeah.
So why go with the white Dobermans? Because there's two colors. There's whites and there's off-white, right? Why go with the white Doberman? Why? Because I know He's the leader of the pack. Why?
Mine are more of the cream, the off-white,
Off-white,
cream
right,
colored.
right. Because I've seen some whiter.
Right, yeah. So have I. Yeah. And mine are more like the cream colored. But yeah, they're just I just I have a dog walking service, Laddie Cooper K9. I do the CGC and dog walking. I also board at my house. I have indoor and outdoor kennels, but they're such a attention. They get a lot of attention. You know, people say I must meet a lot of girls. Well, I don't really, because I'm always just hustling, passing out business cards. But the dogs are very handsome, so people want to take pictures. And then if I can go to a park in a fancy upscale neighborhood and have my dogs jump over the trash can and roll over and do a couple of tricks, that so they help generate money for me. All my dogs work, you know. All my dogs work, and then I get some music videos from time to time.
Yeah, so
sometimes they
tell us who some of the music videos you've done already for.
Well, I had my white Dobermans and
did you do all? Didn't you was it with Jake Paul? What's that that famous guy that does a lot of videos? Jake Paul, isn't it?
Nah.
You did one with the DJ guy too.
That's DJ Kazo.
Kazo.
Right. I did one with that was my dog.
Paul what's that? He's a big time. He fought Mayweather, didn't he? You did with a boxer. It says Jake Paul. But remember we did one with that Miley Cyrus looking chick in the backyard.
Yeah, right.
Remember?
Yeah. I can't remember I never knew what the name of that song was, but I did a Future video. Jack Harlow. The song is called Nail Tech. I did with Brody's son, Barry Manilow, my black and tan Doberman, Coileray. The song is called Blick Blick.
Blick Blick.
Yeah. Jack Harlow with my white Doberman Jones did a photo shoot with Travis Barker from
watch this.
Watch this. Yeah, see, that's Jones and Travis Barker.
That's Travis Barker.
Yeah. He's married to one of the Kardashian girls. He's a super cool dude. And I did a, there he is. That's Barry Manilow in a Travis Barker. I think it's a Lil Wayne and somebody else. Song's called Gimme Brain. Right. So, and then, there's my dog taking a.
You believe in, I would say this when we get back to this, but I would say that the best, okay, here's one of the.
Yeah, that's DJ Kazo with my Claire de Lune.
Yeah.
And that's Jones.
That's him?
Yep.
So I would say that for the most part, like the best form of exercise for dogs is swimming.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why, and you can elaborate too. First of all, it's great on their joints.
Yeah.
Second of all, the most important thing, because dogs don't sweat, it keeps them cool.
Yeah, they don't overheat. They can't overheat. So yes, heating up now. It's time to get.
Fuck.
Oh man, that Rottweiler! I taught your Rottweiler how to swim in one lesson.
Oh my God, Brutus!
And now he can jump he jumps more than half the length of my swimming pool. That dog is a jumping fool. You know, he really, boy, when you hold the article that you're going to throw, he just loves it, you know, and he just kind of goes in on his own. That's really when a dog loves to swim. You know, my dogs will jump in the pool because of prey drive. If I throw something in there.
But you start them off early.
I start them off early with the vest, and then I push the head forward, and it doesn't take long just to keep them, you know, upright. So yeah, I get them swimming pretty early.
People, go to my YouTube channel at All World Doberman Club, and you'll see that video where we did a whole series with Laddie in his backyard. He has a pool, and this is where Brutus actually learned how to swim. He swam like a rock before I brought him.
But now
that motherfucker, he jumps in the pool. Yeah, this is the Rottweiler now. Yeah. He jumps in the pool even if there's nothing in there.
Yeah, yeah. And if you hold the toy and give him a running start, he dock dives. He pretty much dock dives for a 100-pound Rottweiler. You should do some dock diving with him. Yeah. He really gets some distance and some height in the air.
You know where I'm going tomorrow? I'm going tomorrow out there at Pete Medina's field in Riverside. they have a big field. They're having a Cane Corso confirmation show tomorrow. But Sunday, you should get in your truck and go. It's a luring course race.
Yeah, I love those. Yeah.
AKC is they having one that's AKC recognized this Sunday in Acton.
Yeah, lure coursing. Yeah.
But they're doing it for all breeds. You know, most of the time the thing goes this way.
Yeah.
But now it's a straight line and whoever. So I'm bringing Cisco, the Dobie, and Dobies are what? Part Greyhound.
Right.
So I'm gonna eat some shit up, but they're gonna have Frenchies there. They got Labrador.
You're gonna participate.
Yeah, I already entered. $25.
Okay, cool.
You should do it.
Okay. All right.
One of your boys still got it.
Yeah.
You should do it. You should actually bring Barry out.
Yeah, he would love it.
It's 8 in the morning though. You got to get there by 8.
Oh man.
Entry fee and day of is $30, but fuck it, it's fun. They chase the rag, and the dogs.
Yeah,
they grew up on going off on the rag.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But you got to have like 2 leashes, and you got to put them on flat collars. They can't be on chokers.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, that's with everything. With the CGC, it's got to be a flat collar, no pinch.
So we're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot. Let's talk about Xavier.
That was my Rottweiler.
Yeah, that's the one that put you on the map with dogs, right?
Yeah, I got in some trouble with him. Yeah, I actually was in a situation, and he bit. He did the right thing. He defended me, and the guy that he bit cried the victim, and I ended up getting arrested a little bit, and I was in Lance Ito's court before the OJ trial.
Judge Ito.
Right. Yeah, I was in his court. But I had a good lawyer and everything worked out. But yeah, I had a Rottweiler named X, and it was on.
He was a real Roddy.
Yeah. I was someplace I should not have been.
Right.
Right. So but he had my back, and
it's always beautiful when dogs, everything is clear to them where they know when to respond.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like I had Bo. Bo really wasn't my dog in the beginning, right? And he attacked me twice when he had no reason to.
Right.
And I could never trust him in public with people.
Oh yeah.
Anytime you want to bite the motherfucker that's feeding you, then you're like, you have no respect for nobody.
Right.
And unfortunately, people, I had to put him down because selling him to somebody else, like there's a lot of junkyard trainers that, I would have took him out. Yeah, motherfucker, I called you. Did you want to get him? Right. And you took 2 days to reply. Like you don't check your phone at least once while you're on the shitter. You got your phone in your hand. Right. But they knew the liability aspects of it.
Sure.
And they can lose their ass. A lot of these junkyard trainers, they don't have a thing called liability insurance.
Yeah.
So they have to now be more cautious on what they're selling to people out there.
Right.
The dog and service.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about you have one blue female that is a Euro.
She's half European, half American, and she's her name is Claire DeLune, and again I got her from By My Side Kennels with Melissa Amber, and she her bite work is good. She'll hit a sleeve. She has a great out. She's a great swimmer and a great jumper. She's been in some music videos and stuff, but she's
good with people.
Yeah, she's good with people, good with kids.
How old is she now?
She's I guess she's about 5 now.
Wow, they get old quick.
Yeah,
don't they
really do. They really do. Yeah, but she's a good dog. That's my Clay. And then I've got a red one named Maxine.
Who's the parents of Maxine?
Maxine is Gypsy, which is Alonzo's daughter. So Maxine is your dog's granddaughter. And
what color is she?
She's red.
Okay.
She's red, and she's really mean. And then I have Clementine, who's a Black European. Then
she's 100% European.
She's 100%.
That's the one
European.
where both parents are okay. So Clementine, it's the same thing that Eduardo's doing. He imported. Let's put Clementine's in this example. Clementine's is part of the puppies that have not been born. The mama was imported pregnant over here. So Clementine's mom was an import. that Keenan bought that was pregnant when he shipped her over here from Serbia or Europe, whatever the part. So Clementine is actually 100% European. And I would say, hell, since she was conceived in Europe,
right?
She's fucking import,
right? Yeah, pretty much. She's
a
great dog.
So, do you think that she has? Because we bred her recently, 36 days ago. We bred her 36 days with Titus. Titus's first litter. That's why I'm riding his ass a little bit more, because it's like this is first one. Yeah. It's like I'm more excited about it than anybody, because I'm like, what is he producing? Because me personally, a dog can be proven on the field, but can he be proven off the field?
Yeah.
Like, you may be an excellent dog on the field, but do you produce excellent puppies?
Yeah.
That's because that's what Brody did. That's what Alonzo did.
Absolutely.
I can breed to shitty females and the dogs still come out.
You're still kicking out better
Dobermans
than most people.
Exactly.
Most people who dogs don't have papers, and the backyard breeders, and people don't get their dogs health tested and all those things. Yeah.
So my question is, do you think she's pregnant? It's 36 days.
I think she is. She is. All my dogs have waistlines. I keep them in really good shape, and now she's kind of got like a barrel around the midsection. I think it's getting.
We call it Coke can.
We do. But yeah, she's starting to look like that. So maybe I'll call Tavo tomorrow and see if I can get an ultrasound. And
Tavo's good people. Shout out to 91 West.
Yeah.
91 West.
Yeah.
I've tagged him on a few things. He does excellent work. He does ultrasounds, progesterone tests.
He's a reproductive veterinary technician.
That's right. He does TCI, AI, and he also help you do live covers. So yeah, he knows his shit, and this is a hobby for him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
He's a longshoreman by day.
Yeah,
that's what's really paying the bills.
Yeah.
But stand by. He's doing frozen semen pretty soon.
Yeah.
Not chilled, but frozen.
Yeah.
Let's get into some of the medical issues that you've heard that these off-colored dogs be having. Like case in point. Did the white Dobermans, do their eyes do this right here when you look at them?
Yeah, they squint.
Like albino humans.
Right.
Their eyes do this right here.
Their eyes are, they don't shake like that, but they do squint. If the dog's facing and the sun's behind him, his eyes are wide open. If you just turn around, make it about turn, and the sun's in his face, So that's kind of, when I was training with Lewis Williams, he was figuring out that my dog was helping him get over the hurdles doing bite work with Flash, because he couldn't see. He's kind of seeing objects, so we would have to turn
face
it around,
the opposite direction,
or he would have to use his nose more to find the bad guy. And then once he gets up close, then he could go take the bite. But he's that poor vision can be a problem with the whites.
Was Flash? Did he learn how to track?
He actually did know. Well, he learned. I didn't teach
you
him
can put keys and hide them in dirt.
Right. Well, that's more of a search. That's more of a search where you could I could take something and hide it, and then rub.
All you do is say search.
Yeah. Well, I give him the scent. I put the scent on my hands and cover his nose with the scent of that article, and then have him search. It actually happened to me where a dog tried to bite me. It was a pit bull, actually. It was actually Sting's daughter's dog. This dog's name was Bocce, and he was kind of an angry dog. And
Sting is the singer.
The singer from the Police. Yeah, his daughter Kate. She was very sweet. She moved back to England, and Bocce eventually got old and passed away. But it was good. She was a good dog, and she jumped up to bite me and broke my keys. And we were way up in these hills, up in Beverly Hills. And then I ended up hiking all the way back to the car, and realized he didn't have the car key, So I put that dog up, and I had Flash in the car. So I tried to go back to where the dog, and I had my keys hanging on a loop on a vest that I had on a ring. So they were hanging on the outside. And I was like, damn, now this game I've been playing with my dog,
it's for real.
Now it's for real. And I rubbed the scent of the other keys over my hand, and my dog went to it so fast that I didn't even believe my dog. I said, no, that can't be it. You've never gotten anything that quick before. It takes a couple times. And then I just started walking around, and he kept going back to where he was. And then there was a little bush there, and I looked down there and found all my keys, and I was able to leave. So it came in handy, you know.
A dog's a man's best friend, truly, truly. Let me ask you this. So what kind of number one is, are you having any litters with the other other colors right now, or is Clementine's only?
If Clementine is pregnant, which I should know this weekend, that litter should be all black or some black and red.
It's going to be all black.
All black, yeah. So then, but I plan on breeding. I got one named Dante to Maxine, and he's white and she's red. So I should get black, red, white, possibly blue. There's a possibility of 4 colors. There'll be black, red, and white. They'll be for certain, and then possibly blue. I've had 3 different colors. I don't know. Can't remember if I ever got 4 different colors in a litter.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm like, I want to know, like, why they're not as why are Dobies with multicolors are not as accepted as if you're getting a goddamn Frenchie, hairless Frenchies, white Frenchies, blue Frenchies, Merle, tricolor.
Really, oh my God,
they'll accept that shit.
Oh yeah, the things they're doing to these dogs, these pit bulls with the
curly,
these bulldogs with the short legs,
micro bullies.
Oh my God, yeah, they're really, man can really tear up.
They accept that.
Dogs. Yeah,
they accept that, but they won't accept.
The whites and blues and fawns, you know. It's a shame, but the world it's becoming more tolerant. But yeah, it is just the dog snobs. It's funny, they don't like, many people don't like it in the Doberman, but like you said, you can do anything to a Frenchie and people will love it. Spend thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. You can do anything.
More than that.
You can do anything to what used to be a pit bull terrier. Now shrink it, squeeze it. You can cut his legs off, and people will spend a fortune on him now. But
20,000. I interviewed a guy. His name is Aaron, and he owns a kennel in Dallas, and the kennel is called Texas Frenchies or something like that. I went to Texas, to Dallas, to interview him. He said during COVID, he sold a Frenchie over $100,000.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm not mad at him, but
I mean, fuck. I'm like, the dog can only have the max 4 puppies.
Yeah.
And 2 is they can't do live breedings.
Yeah.
They can't give live births.
Yeah. The head's too big to pass through the birth canal.
And they can't even get on top of each other and mate naturally.
Right. Yeah.
So you really up, like, out of pocket $1,500, $2,000 before the puppies are even born.
Yeah.
But we don't have a problem in the Doberman community because they get busy.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what would you say is any negative backlash of these dogs, these multicolored dogs that you've encountered from people?
Oh, I've had a guy see most people think that my white Doberman, they think that they're beautiful, and then the way they behave, and then I can stack them, have them sit on the bench, and everybody sits, or I have everybody in a down at the Grove, of course, which is kind of like my office. Every time I go there, I probably pass out about 30 cards. But I've had a guy walking one of my white Dobermans, and he actually said, "Nice dog, wrong color." So it's actually, it's kind of like doggy racism. I hate to use the R word, but it's kind of like an organization of white people who kind of hate something when it turns out white, which is kind of funny to me, But the dog snobs don't like it, so I say fuck them, Yeah. So I just try to make mine as healthy as possible, socialize them. I do rag work with the puppy, so when people buy a puppy for me, that dog will be a solid. That dog may not be able to get a Schutzen title or a ring sport title, but you can definitely, join a personal protection club and get the courage test and the bark and hold, or the 2-man attack, the ATM robbery, or the carjacking scenario. you know, the water test right here. You just see my dog go get the water test. He'll go bite the guy with spraying him with the water. So yeah, so I do build up the drives in the puppies. So I do that. So buying puppies for me, they will be mouthy. So you better get a flirt pole. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time with them.
And which one is that right there?
I think that's Claire, and that's the Malibu Lagoon. And because of the climate change and because of these toxic algae blooms, it's just too dangerous to take it. That was a fun spot.
That's the blue one, right?
Yeah, that's the blue one. Yep, that's Claire. I think there's some good ones of Gypsy in there, and yeah, that's Claire. Yep. But I'm afraid to do that now. One time, a few years ago, I threw a toy in there when my dog hit the water. A bunch of dead fish rose up to the top. So yeah, I think with these toxic algae blooms and the seals attacking all the surfers and stuff, I think this summer I'm stay away from that. But that was in Malibu. That's the Malibu Lagoon that goes right under PCH. So it's nice out there. I'm too afraid of the water now. Too much bad news I've been hearing.
What do you want people to know about about not just the Doberman, but the multicolored lines that you have?
They're the same. They're the same with reputable breeders like myself and like Melissa Amber at By My Side Kennels, and I've got a friend Annette. Can't think of her name. She just went to Mississippi a year ago and got a half white, half American, half European white Doberman. So what I was trying to do with what I've been doing is I have been trying to breed my American white Dobermans with half European working off-colored blue or fawn females, which makes those puppies 25% European, which, because of the poor eyesight, which can make them a little jumpy, I'm giving them more courage from that European courage line. The Europeans are a more confident dog, and so what I'm trying to do with my breeding program is to improve.
You're trying to create a balance.
I'm trying to create better.
The lack thereof with the American Dobies, you want to give that intangible from the European line,
right? And infuse it, right?
But keep the American look, though,
right? Yeah. And, to make it a more solid, more confident dog.
How is Jones doing now?
He's got cancer, and he was not looking good yesterday. He's 9. He just turned 9 last week, so he's got cancer. He's had it about a year, and
is he able still to breed though?
Oh yeah. He no,
he can't put up.
No, he can't. No. He had a litter of like 9 puppies, and then 6 months later, the girl wanted to breed again, and there was nothing. They did the sperm. They did the collection, and there was no but a couple of sperm. So then I took him to the vet, and then the vet told me he had testicular cancer. And then, like I said earlier in the program, I rushed to surgery with my dog Flash to cut out the tumor, and then he never ate again. So,
I remember you was force feeding him.
Yeah. I was trying to
shoving bologna and shit down his mouth.
And it just wasn't working. So now he has the same cancer. So he's had it a little over a year now, but I didn't want the same thing to happen. So I didn't rush to surgery, and I just said, I'll just keep him comfortable. I'll give him a doggy aspirin every morning and just let him run and play and stuff. But yeah, he's a little so he was a great swimmer, but now I got him in the pool the other day. I got to put the vest on him. He can't get out like he used to.
Is this his back hind legs?
His hind legs are giving out. He kind of did a little bit of a split yesterday. That was a real sign yesterday, because I went outside and his legs, you know, when those black legs kind of splay out a little bit. That was the first time I saw that.
How about the other boy? What's his name?
Barry Manilow?
No, not Barry.
Which one?
You got a new one. Remember, it was.
Oh yeah, Dante.
Dante, how is he?
He's sweet. He's not as drivey. But
He don't have that dog in him, do he? He's a great pet.
He's really good. Yeah, and he's been. He's also in. He's in the Killer Mike.
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike has a music video called Detonator, and you can see Dante and Maxine and Clementine in there. So he's a great little video dog. You know, he's sweet and he's kind, you know, and yeah, I'm going to teach him some tricks.
How do people find you to use your dog for props?
Well, I guess check my Instagram, you know, King of the White Dobermans, or Laddie Cooper on Facebook, LATTY COOPER, you know, and I can tell you how I kind of got this this music video thing. I was walking with my Doberman, and some guy walked up to me and said, "Hey man, I'm a student filmmaker, and I'd love to, you know, put your dogs in my little student film, and I can't afford to pay you, but it'll be pretty cool." So he called me up. And the scene in this student film was like a Hollywood modeling scene. So they had that bouncy music going on, and people are sipping champagne. It's like a real Hollywood type of setup. But it's and then these models are taking pictures with the dogs, and there's all these film students that were there, and I'm passing out my cards to all of these film students, and that was maybe 10 or 12 years ago. Well, many of those film students now are making music videos, and they remembered me. So when they want a Doberman pincher, they're calling me. I would like to be not just a Doberman guy. But
I'll take that.
I'll take it, but I think I got enough connections in the game, especially in Southern California, between the two of us, that any type of breed of dog you would need, I could probably get, you know, for a music video. But, you know, I'll take the Doberman thing.
I'm gonna tell you how the game is so iffy sometimes. Like not Alonzo, but, and I'll answer your question in a minute. Activated Dobermans. Casanova did a music video with Lil Wayne and Benny the Butcher. You guys can Google it. It's called Lil Wayne and Benny the Butcher. It's a music video. Google it, you'll see it. And Casanova is in. He's the thick one that's in there barking. But I remember I had put Alonzo on Craigslist. It's like dog for hire,
okay,
movies and shit, because I knew he was balanced.
Oh my God, yeah,
right,
yeah.
And this guy called me. He said, "Oh, I want you to come down. We're agents in the dog movie industry." I said, "Okay, cool." So I come down. He has his own demo dog. Now Alonzo know the basic down, stay, sit, heel, bark on command. But then he pulls out his dog, which is a Weimaraner or something, and he had him doing guard to object, standing on the object, looking, roll over, feet up, and all this shit. He said, "Well, no, can your dog do this?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, we teach this."
All right.
I was like, "Oh, you guys ain't want my dog. You want to fucking sell me a class?"
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that.
What it is. Yeah.
So
yeah, they promise you your dog will make $100,000 a year. Yeah, I got caught that. There was Hollywood Paws or something like that.
Yeah,
they're an outfit. Yeah, they got some well-trained dogs there.
So activated Dobermans. What breeder did I get Alonzo from? He was a breeder. She was a breeder out of Hungary.
Yeah.
It was called King of Darkness.
Yeah.
So Google it. Andrea, she doesn't do Dobermans anymore, but King of Darkness, I imported him from Hungary.
Oh my God, what a dog.
Yeah. I would say Alonzo was the dog that really changed my life. He got me out of depression, because you can't let the dogs be in the house the whole time. You can't let him. You got to walk him.
Yeah,
got me out of the house.
They're relying on you.
Yeah, and
they're relying on you.
If I was to tattoo any dog first, a lot of people don't remember Alonzo, but a lot of folks remember Brody.
Yeah,
but Alonzo basically was really the fucking real first Doberman.
He was a rock star.
He was a real rock star. Very balanced too.
Just nothing fazed him.
And he was not dog aggressive to strange dogs. Now, if you fuck with him,
how confident he was.
Yeah, but if you start a fight with him,
yeah,
he'll finish it.
Yeah,
but he ain't trying to kill you.
Yeah, amazing dog.
Very, very good dog.
You know?
And we try for years to duplicate that.
Oh, that's the mistake. You're never
gonna get the same dog.
I've seen guys.
You know, like you're trying to find a dog that's flash. No matter how many dogs you have.
Yeah. You can't do that to yourself. You can't do this. It's not fair to the other dog. One, and it just doesn't happen. You know.
Yeah. Well, man, listen. I want to say, you know, I usually do these segments. We could talk on and on and on about this.
Yeah.
I want to say I appreciate you coming down during the heat of traffic. It's 6:42 out here. He had to leave the house around about 4 something just to get here at 5.
Yeah.
So I want to say, man, thanks for coming on, Laddie. We got to do this more often.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, man.
You know,
this was awesome.
And I will always say, people, I said, be resilient, but be responsible. Until next time, take care.